once and check it twice. And he found out who was naughty or nice. Stay with me. These are not my fairy tales of ignorant stories in which they're telling to themselves and to their children. It's not mine. I reflect upon them because they're total ignorance. When serious things are going on, they want you to just elapse into a mind of chaotic ignorance and arrogance. Stupidity stands on the shores of ignorance all the time. It'll never be one that will rise on anyone's horizon of intelligence, whereby another world. United Nations, rise and shine once again. I say, welcome to the call. This is your call. And who are we? Well, I'm representing the world. And we are the World Global Network, Reset, Restoration Network family. And yes, we are 198 sovereign nations. These sovereign nations make up of 8 billion sovereign principles. Sovereign principles. We don't need your sovereign citizens, America. We don't need your sovereign groups. We don't need your patriot citizens. We don't need your patriot groups. And you can go back and tell Barack Obama, I said, he signed some executive order for himself that these people would be classified as so-called would-be enemy combatants to some terrorist would-be network that he and his boys cooked up in Washington, D.C. a number of years back, that he, being so ignorant himself, signed it as if though it was something that everybody was going to recognize. All because he believed that they was putting money into his purse, whereby he was going to be able to buy all the things that he ever so desired. And I want to believe if he ever received them yet, he won't. And everything that he has received, I want him to understand it's not a warning, it's a promise. It shall be and will be taken back. I know. Everybody's still waiting for the list to come out about Jeffrey Epstein. Let me help you out. So everyone on the planet recognize Jeffrey Epstein, in his absence now, was not going to do anything but expose the rest of the so-called would-be rich world that they all was broke. They had no money. He was about to expose that. So to terminate him was to terminate the possibilities of everybody realizing that everyone on the planet was net zero and no one had any would-be so-called credit for currency. Jeffrey didn't have to tell anybody that because everyone was well aware of that. Everyone knew that as far back as 2000. And yes, Jeffrey in 2000 wanted to expose that, but it was too easy for them to place him in a group of people called human traffickers, that they were able to silence him by way of always what the world does whenever it finds itself in trouble. It always resorts back to the so-called weaklings of the planet to use them as an excuse to put all of the planet on their side to be able to do nothing more than to become destructive, to destroy those in whom that are about to expose them. The children, the young, the women. Give me a break. You're responsible for the problem. They're not the solution. For I will give them children to be their oppressors, and women will rule over them. Woe to my people. For these things will do nothing more than cause you to err and destroy the way of your path. These are not my words, universe. These are not my words. But those words were written carefully in a book just for you. You won't even read the book because you're too busy believing that you're going to get some jackleg homosexual gay that's going to classify himself as being some holy man of God that's going to tell you that possibilities the book could be wrong. And all the crackers that I find on the planet, and I did say crackers, they always got this great philosophy where everything seems to be not so true or controversy only because they find out the fact that they were not the authors of it. Go. Ask England. Go West Germany, for even the German would-be so-called philosophers realized that no man was an island entirety of himself, but he was only a piece of the main or a part of the whole. He realized and he focused on what diminishes one diminishes all. And believe it or not, with the stupidity of what everyone has been listening to as an example coming from the Western world of all the dummies that fell out of the crash would-be so-called safety car, everyone's following them to hell. To hell. I'm telling you where they're headed. I'm telling you where they're going. I can do that because I'm the one that's going to carry them there, and then I'm going to drop them off in hell. Oh, yes, I'm going to. I'm only going for a short period of time. My stay will be temporary. Theirs will be permanent, everlasting. And they don't understand wording. They have no understanding of definition of words. Permanent, totally, forever. They don't understand that. To use those words in the United States of America, you would think that you're only talking about a 30-day stay, or possibly even a 7 to 6 night. Come on, help me out. Because they don't understand the definition of words. Back in 2000 now, I told the whole world that there will be something that will be classified as digital currency. I also told them that this Bitcoin and doggy corn and cat corns and whatever else corns they come up with will not be part of the digital currency. I told them that. It's not even part of the digital community. Yet still, they keep telling me about this deadline they're coming up with. And just last night, because they're a day ahead now in the world, realized that the so-called Bitcoin has been delayed. A $10 million seed, they're saying, that has been delayed. Let me help them out. I don't know where they're getting $10 million from, but you don't have it. You don't have $10 million. You're not going to get $10 million. I can assure you that. You're never going to be credited $10 million. Mansa Musa, which everyone still finds to be controversial. Was he the richest man on the planet? Was he the richest man in the world? What color was he? Oh, he was a black king. And you're still saying it's controversial. Mansa Musa. Let me help you out. Mansa Musa and I, we have to be the same person. We have to be. You know why? Because they've already checked my blood, DNA, and RNA. And it just so happens that we have exactly the same blood, DNA, and RNA. And they only know now that either I'm Mansa Musa or I'm one of his relatives, they would say. But for that token, Mansa Musa also has the same blood as their so-called would-be Jesus the Christ. And they would happen to be the same person. How controversial can that be? They even checked. Oh, King Henry. And King Henry, according to the pictures that they got and all of the whores that he married, cannot be the same King Henry on the picture because they don't share the same blood, DNA, and RNA. But the true King Henry shares the same blood, DNA, and RNA as Mansa Musa and myself. So we either are the same person, you got it, or they just still want to claim that it's somehow controversial. Let me help them out. As they believe, I'm talking about the unrighteous because they do believe too. As the righteous, they're so drawn off and confused in this would-be so-called world of currency, they can't even think for themselves anymore. But all of them believe that we have been here in different times. All of them believe that we come back from different times. All of them believe that we somehow quantically, through quantum physics and all the other quantum would-be systems of the universe, that we find ourselves revolutionizing, revelating through time, from one time zone to another. They believe that we come through something of a would-be so-called small window. stepping out into the ozone, where we step from one area to the other. I would agree with them. I just can tell them they have no understanding of how to do it. They don't know what the secret is to it. I do. I was born with it. It's in my blood. I know how to travel time. Yes, I can carry them right back now into what would have been classified 1312 to 1337, when Mansa Musa was nothing more than the king and the ruler of the world. Well, for that reason, I can carry them back to what now would be classified as 24 millenniums, when Jesus the Christ, they would say, actually walked the planet. 2,000 years ago, they would say. They have no clue that they will be looking right now at about 200 million thousand years ago, not just 2,000 years ago. I know that's because they don't know how to get through the time zone. They don't know how to be able to even stand there in a little small window and watch time pass by. So they don't truly know how to do numbers. I keep telling you I'm not the numbers. I'm the letter. But the numbers would agree with me. You cannot get the number one without O-N-E or any other type of would-be letter, because they come together. And all the Greek letters of the planet understands that. All the poetic numbers of the planet understands that. All the artistic numbers of the world understands that. Ena, Ono, Enoch. Ena, Ono, Enoch. A form of nothing more than one. I know. The Greeks came along and started calling it Alph. Ena, Ono, Enoch. Alph. I don't need to be giving you a class, my dear United Nations. I need you to understand that the voice in which is talking. Have I sat you down in the classroom to give you a class right now, it would take you at least 200 million years to be able to get what I know. Test me. I've been tested already. Even amongst people like William Jefferson Clinton, in a small area of what they deem to be some Arkansas and Oklahoma area that they call Mena, Arkansas. It was demeaning to me for them to come back and tell me that I scored one would-be so-called point lower than some would-be so-called president that they deem to be the most wisest, the most intelligent, and one of the most witty and smartest presidents that they ever had in the White House. That was a total. That was a demeaning to me. I knew more about him than he knew about the test. I knew him. I could have told him his life. I could have told him his grandmother's life, his Amy's life, his Amy, who did nothing more than tell a lie once upon a time that put a man in the prison. The prison down, he knows exactly where it's at. It's in Louisiana. Being that Pine Bluff had a prison right down the road, he didn't put him in Boston, Texas, New Boston, Texas, so we can be correct with it. He didn't put him there. He sent him to Angola, Louisiana, and put him in prison there, all because of his great aunt telling a lie to the whole would-be so-called Hope, Arkansas area that caused a group of people to have to move out of Arkansas to Louisiana. Stay with me. They didn't move to Louisiana because they were afraid of the Arkansasians. They moved there so they could be close to their brother because of the lie that William Jefferson Clinton, great aunt, told. Stay with me. No, listen, William. I'm not angry with you. I need you to understand that you're just like everything else on this planet. You will never be as intelligent as I am, because you're not the elect one. You're not the chosen one. I know you became real good friends with one that you believe was the chosen one, the anointed one, Barack Barack Obama, but let me help you out. He is not the chosen one. I don't care who he shared blood with. I heard the story back in would have been around 2006, where supposedly, perhaps, maybe, he just may have been a lost would-be so-called nephew, of whom they were deeming to be Honorable Noble Drew Ali. I wasn't impressed. So who knows who his mother laid with? No, I'm not attacking him. I just need you to understand that it was a disgrace and a disrespect to him. He should have paid attention to it. Because his mother, last time I checked, came from a European world of white people. And it seems like, for some strange reason, the whole world wanted to put him in the mix of being amongst those that would have been either classified as Africans or African Americans or some melanated being, that they would find the time to try to put his mother in bed with some of everyone on the planet in order to give him an identity to be the first black would-have-been so-called president, or to make him the so-called would-be anointed, appointed one, or the chosen one. And, again, I remind you, when Farrakhan made that statement, I was there to make sure that they cleaned it up. And I'm not afraid to still tell them, in any court of law, Barack Obama could never be the chosen one, because I am. And there is a document that proves that. With blood, DNA, and RNA splattered all over. And anytime he wants to test it again, versus my blood versus his blood, I guarantee him, even when they try to switch it or change it, the computers will shut down, because it did the last time. And it will again and again. And every knee will bow and every tongue will still have to confess that there is only but one. I know my brothers and numbers listening right now. I don't have to worry about that. I sure don't. He recognized he is the principal. I am the chosen one. He and I, we have no division, no conflict. We become one. Based upon the fact, again, I will repeat his name. I know what his would-be so-called government name is. I know it well. I know his government would-be so-called position. However, I recognize him by the true name that he is. And he recognizes me by my true name. His name is Yakim. Yakim is the number of the universe. Yakim makes all the decisions based upon the number of this universe and any other universe. And I make that decision based upon the letter. This universe and any other universe. I make that decision. Again, the vibration of the Alpha, because that's the world in which you understand and know. The Alpha. But the Alpha and Ankh is not that different. They're the same world. Different understandings. Definition of words is very important. BlackRock Bitcoin. Who are you? What are you trying to do? U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Who are you? What are you trying to do? What do you think your work should be is my question. What do you think your work should be? Listen to them, Yakim. Listen. Let's hear and see what they think their worth, what their value might be. I need to know. Because we understand that if they don't know their value, if they don't know their worth, how can they but receive it? Because they have to realize that in order for them to receive their value or their worth, they have to first tell you. Second, after they tell you, they have to wait for a moment in time when you tell me. Because once I know, once it comes to me, then only then will my Father know, because I have to tell my Father. And until those days happen, they will be worth nothing. I do not have time to play games with some system that man has drawn up on any planet. And even if the aliens find themselves in hell, they'll know that I put them there too. Fact. I know. I told them, I am still in the physical form, in the natural form. They do not want to see me. At no time in the spiritual form. At no time. I don't like being in the spiritual form. I don't get to interact with ignorant people. I don't get to interact with whores, pushers, and pimps. I don't get to interact with them when I'm in the spirit. I kind of enjoy some of their parties. Very entertaining. But I'm not impressed. While the digital asset community eagerly awaits potential approval of some spot Bitcoin exchange trade bond, they're waiting. SEC is waiting. Says in 2024, all this is going to come about. Let me help you out, SEC, once again. Let me help you out, ETF. Not going to happen. And if it does, I'll end it. And everyone who would have said that it was approved, I will hold you in court accountable. And just as you have, bank fried, whatever you want to call him, he's in jail now. For what? Bitcoin fraud. Let me help you out. You will precede him. You will succeed him. You will concede him in a seat right next to him if you by any chance think that your Bitcoin is going to be recognized. I don't care. I don't care how many tentacles that you might put on the body of Bitcoin. Every last one of those tentacles, I'm going to cut them off. They will not grow back again. I'm not threatening you. I'm promising you, based upon the word of my voice. I know. There's been times that you tried to silence me. And last time, I think I had a sheet over my face for about 3 days. And according to you, 3 nights. What happened on the 4th day? I was gone, huh? Walking back in your element. I know what you called it. The Shamaheens can't hold me. The Yashukanas can't hold me. The Eldukanas Tusas can't hold me. I will come back. Regulators' uncertainties. The SEC has been engaged in legal would-be disputes with major digital asset firms, including Coinbase. Let me help you out, SEC. You're not in a legal dispute with me. You're not even in a dispute with me. My word is final. You can't change it. And you won't be able to convince me. In 2023, the SEC experienced setback, partially losing its case against Ripple, which centered around allegations of selling unregistered securities. Let me help you out, SEC. Any security that you sell, buy, trade, loan, will be illegal, and I will hold you accountable. Stay with me. God Almighty, you don't get it yet. Am I real? Or am I just a figment of your imagination? Am I just a figure in your imagination? Figure this. Not going to happen. I don't care how many clowns you got out there that you might put them on some Clubhouse or some Facebook or some X or some would-be Instagram. I don't care how instant you make it. I need you to hear this. Nothing is going to happen on this planet until I say so. Figure that into your imagination. The SEC's track record of postponing deadlines for a spot amongst BTC and ETF in 2023 adds another layer of uncertainty to regulators' landscape. As the Bitcoin community remains on the edge of its seat, it remains to be whether the SEC will adopt a similar approach in 2024. Yes, you will. You're going to adopt that with the so-called same system, because I'm going to keep you there until I get ready to move it on to something else. I don't care. You can go to my brother Yakim. You can talk to him. He will never be confused by you. Never. He cannot be confused. Neither can he be bought. You know why? My brother Yakim, he recognizes Yahoshua Mashiach. Yah. I understand everybody's calling me Jehovah. There's no J in my name. Yahovah is my name. I'm okay with the Jehovah. It's okay. I don't care. Let me help you out. There's no E's in my name either. Just in case you haven't heard me say my name again. Yahoshua Mashiach. There's no E's in my name. You didn't hear me say Yahoshua Mashiach. Is E. E is I. Eagle. Egg. You didn't hear me saying the E's. You heard me saying I in my name. My name is Yahoshua Mashiach. Mansa Musa and I are related. Mansa Musa. You didn't hear me say any E's in his name, neither did you. There's A's in his name just like it is in mine. Because we are the true Alpha. We are the Alpha. We are. We are the Alphas, the Omegas, the beginning and the end. Before me, there was none. After me, there will be none. Now, what part of that you do not understand? By chance, if I was in the presence of you right now, I would extend my lips. Thereby, perhaps, maybe the flapping of my lips might give you an indication or some signal or such that you may still be able to understand exactly what I just said out of my mouth. Don't have time, right? You thought you had stolen the language from the so-called would-be true Hebrew Israelites. The niggas will never be able to speak their real language ever again. We stole it. We took their memory. We took their history. I need you to understand that I came back with it. And I'm going to make sure that they all learned it. Every last one of them going to learn it. I know. They might be in disagreement, huh? They don't get a choice, because if they don't learn it, I'm going to drop them in the hell. Trust me. Fact. And there will come a time when every man will be able to call upon his name on one accord. Abba, Yah, Abba, Yah, Allah, Abba, Kaj, Abba, Kasha, Cha, Yanadala. Everybody is going to be able to call upon that name. On one accord, in one pure language. One language. Yakim, I'm still here. I'm still here. My DNA and RNA has not changed. They won't be able to change it. Through all of this artificial intelligence, all of this artificial would-be so-called changing of the blood, changing of the would-be oxygen, changing of the skin, changing of the colors. I don't care what they change. I don't care what they manipulate. I don't care what they try to do to make things different. As I was in the beginning, so shall I be in the end. And so shall I be in the new beginning. So I am the first. I am the last. I am the beginning and I am the end. I am Yahoshua Mashiach. Meantime, they're not listening. They don't believe. I guarantee them that when their kneecaps find its way to their lips, then they'll know that there is no other. Let me do us all a favor and take a short break.
Thank you, Yahoshua. Yes, family, this information I want to